Now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello, everybody. I want to welcome you to this webinar, and we're going to start in just a second. We're making sure that everybody can get on and has a little bit of time to join, and just want to welcome you all. If you just give us maybe another minute, we'll go ahead and start. Thanks. If you're having trouble hearing, there is an audio option where you can actually go from computer audio to the phone call option. So if that's something that you would prefer to do, you can always do that. If you click, there's like on your toolbar, there's a little orange arrow, and normally it has a little menu to the right, so you can just click on audio, and if you select phone call, it'll give you the number to actually go to if you want to have that option. Some people say they have a hard time hearing, and a lot of times the computer audio isn't what it could be. So if you have trouble with that, you definitely want to check that out as a phone call. And it looks like we've got quite a few attendees on right now, so I think we're going to go ahead and kick this off. And I'm going to turn this over to my coworkers, Rose and Amy, and really appreciate them jumping in and doing this wedding market webinar for you guys, and enjoy and have fun. So Rose, we'll start with you.
Yeah. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the wedding webinar from Unisub and Chromolux. I'm Rose. I'm the sublimation specialist for Universal Woods, parent company of Unisub and Chromolux brands right here in Louisville, Kentucky. And joining me, we have...
Hello, I'm Amy. I'm a product development engineer for Universal Woods, and we're excited to be with you all today. We'll be answering questions at the end of the webinar, so feel free to type questions into the box located on the toolbar. You should see an orange arrow that if you click it once, the toolbar expands or contracts. So if you lose the toolbar, just look for that arrow to expand it again. So let's get started.
All right, I'm going to do the slides for you all.
Today, we'll be discussing why you should focus on the wedding market and what's happening now and what we can expect in the near future. We'll also be talking about some fun facts about non-traditional weddings from around the world, some general trends, including Pantone colors, some top 10 products for the wedding market, some additional products to consider, such as for engagements, mother of the bride, etc., outside of the immediate bridal party, some free graphics available to you, free templates and a font list, suggested retail pricing on products, and some tips to sell your products.
So what's happening in the world today with weddings? So they're still happening. However, there are a few things that we've noticed are trending. So a smaller number of attendees, outdoor venues, sit-down dinners instead of a buffet, and actually even waiting until 2021. As myself, I am a COVID bride, so our ceremony has already been moved once. We went ahead and decided to move the big party to 2021, and we're going to have a small backyard wedding in 2020. And from talking to others in this position, that seems to be the new norm these days.
There was a recent survey of couples and wedding vendors from March and June of this year from the Wedding Report. And according to the results of that survey, it confirms the effects of the worldwide pandemic. 21% postponed but still plan to marry in 2020. 41.5% moved their wedding to 2021. 58% just cut down their guest list. And it's expected that over half the weddings in 2020 will be canceled or postponed, with about 30 to 35% moved to 2021. There's a surge of weddings in 2021, but with lower budgets and fewer guests.
With weddings still taking place all around the world, let's look at some wedding traditions. So at the first cleaning act together, German brides and grooms clean up piles of broken porcelain dishes that their guests have thrown on the ground to ward off any evil spirits. The promise is that the couple can face challenges in their marriage together. Now in Greece, groomsmen take the role seriously as the best man will become the groom's barber when he pulls out a razor and shaves his friend's face. After he's been freshly shaved, the groom's new mother-in-law will feed him honey and almonds. That sounds delicious. In Norway, a crown-shaped iced almond cake made of rings, called a crans cake, hides a bottle of wine in the hollowed-out center. So it's like two gifts in one. In the West African country of Niger, the camel dance is done at the reception in the desert by a real camel. Wedding guests surround the camel and dance. Let's hope there is someone to clean up after the camel. In India on the wedding day, the bride's female sisters and cousins will steal the groom's shoes and demand ransom money for their safe return. The name of this ritual is Judah Chupai, and the ransom money is then given to the couple. In France, the French brides and grooms, of course, consume chocolate and champagne after the reception. But how appealing would that be from a toilet bowl? That's right, it's supposed to give the couple strength before the wedding night, but it sounds like it might give them something else. Glad that didn't become a thing in the U.S.
So we've done some research and seen some general trends in the 2020 wedding market that will probably carry over into 2021. As ever, personalization. If there's a specific theme, color, cake design, or invite that sparks joy for the wedding party, go for it. We're seeing an emerging theme in neon signs, balloon walls, and eco-friendly weddings. Already owned dishes, farm-to-fresh food, and email invites, as well as other themes for thank you gifts that you can actually use. Couples are personalizing everything down to their invites, which are incorporating more hand-drawn imagery to reflect a couple's interests, hometown, or where they met. Each element conveys the couple's story.
So, Amy, I wanted to let you know it's really hard for people to hear. So even though I love you to death and I know you're getting married soon, I'm going to probably take over at this point, just so we can hear. So, if that's okay with everybody, this is Peggy. I'll just go ahead and start going through, if that's all right. I'm sorry. We tried the best we could with our audio, but it gets a little crazy. So I'm going to go on with the rest of the presentation for Amy, and Rose and I can finish, and Amy can enjoy sitting back and relaxing for a while. All right. So also popular this year, we looked at the Pantone color of the year. And this year is classic blue, which is one of my favorites. Hopefully everyone else enjoys it as well. But this is the color of the year that Pantone selected for 2020. And some couples are actually incorporating this into their wedding theme. So you might see dresses or table decorations. So we have this in the products that we decorated as well, just so you guys can see when we start showing you the free graphics. We do have a lot of those incorporated. So what sublimation products are popular that you can add to other items like the wedding party, t-shirts, mugs, tumblers, and other things that you sublimate? Well, you want to think about events like engagement and wedding photos, and maybe some things with the bride and groom to maybe give as a gift. So we've got here, shown here is a gloss white Chromolux metal print, and also a picture frame in the natural wood. So you can actually put the couple's name on it, or you could put a verse on it, whatever you would like. I think it's neat that people are still celebrating engagements and things like that. I know there's like a tradition for promposals and things like that, but you also have people that started that kind of with the crazy engagement, will you marry me scenarios. So I think it's neat that people are putting that on different imaged products. So these are just a couple of them that you could use.
If you've had to reschedule your date or just want to save the date magnet as a reminder, we have a brand new hexagon magnet shape But you could also try our Chromolux 4x4-inch semi-gloss panel that will commemorate the occasion and show off engagement photos. You can put a magnet on the back of the Chromolux panel as well to treat it as an extra large magnet.
I think Amy said she had to reschedule hers, which I'm sure she would appreciate using that magnet or something to do that. And for the bridal party gifts and bachelor and bachelorette parties, so you can't forget that part. So we also have a button that has our groom graphic on it, and we also have a personalized keychain. So this is kind of just a monogram keychain. So if you wanted to keep it kind of gender neutral and use that, you could do that. And just as a note, both of these are actually round products. They're just at an angle. So somebody asked me if they were oval earlier, and no, they're round. So these are just a couple of selections that you could also choose.
As for during the wedding ceremony itself, there's plenty of wedding decor, like a hanging sign with a ribbon or an outdoor party sign, such as this one, to point the way to the reception area. Depending on what the sign or banner says, it can also be used as home decor after the wedding.
And don't forget personalized items, like if you get gifts for that happy couple. I know we mentioned that before with the picture frame. But you can also use a hardboard desktop photo panel, and it has a little kickstand on the back, so you can actually lean it up on any kind of tabletop. Or you could actually get, for the holidays, an ornament. So we have a new hardboard heart-shaped ornament. So it's a little bit different than another heart-shaped item that we have in our line. We actually never have offered these hardboard ornaments before, and our new products group came out with some, and they even had jigs that go with them, so that you can actually sublimate them on both sides using the jig. So it's a really nice thing to offer for people. You could put a photo on there, or you could just have their information and give it to them as a gift.
All these products that we mentioned have layered product shots where you can personalize with your own image, decorated and blank product shots, and templates that you can use to design for your own items. Simply visit unisubgraphics.com, the shortcut here, to get the rights-free graphics section.
Now, if you go to unisub.com, there is an actual markets page. So I just put up here unisub.com/markets, and that's where you can actually access all of the markets, including this one. And there's resources on that page, like this presentation will be on there. We've got a flyer on there and all the rights-free graphic art that we have, especially shown on this slide. We've got more things on there that you can use, like the fonts list that I'm going to go over next. But all this rights-free art you can use to put on any products that you decorate and sell. Now, we don't, obviously you can't use it and just resell the art yourself. That wouldn't be right. But you can actually use it on any product that you sublimate. So if you're doing a mug, you can use it for that, a t-shirt. So all of these you can use on our products and other products that you sublimate or use. And they're fun, and they can be used for multiple crafts and things like that.
These are some of the fonts that we used in the art featured in this webinar. And you can download them from the website on this slide. Just make sure that any fonts that you use are certified for commercial use.
Some of them are free, so you get lucky there, right? They're actually on a little a list, like a PDF list that we put on there. And our graphic designer was kind enough to kind of select some ones that either cost very little or are free. So we looked out at the retail market to say, okay, well, if you're going to decorate these items, what can you actually expect to sell them for to people who purchase them? So we looked at different sites. A lot of them are Etsy sites, but we also have some people have private websites and things like that sublimate. So, for example, you can take a Unisub yard sign that you personalize, and you could set a price between $15 and $25. It just sort of depends on what's on it. And then always take into account when you're pricing anything, the time, not just your materials and your ink and your paper, but also the time that you take to create it and what are you actually putting on it for them. So if you're taking a photo for them, or if you have a professional photo, people pay a premium for personalized items. So that's, you guys probably already know that with sublimation, but just something to keep in mind. And we will provide this chart on that markets page along with other resources for your reference. So you don't have to write all this down. It's actually going to be on a page for you later.
So now that we've mentioned all of these items, how are you supposed to sell them? It's a good idea to show samples of your product, as seeing is believing, if that's possible for what you do. You can also leave a business card behind with your contact info about what you do so that people you connect with will know how to connect with you. You can connect with flower shops, wedding venues, wedding planners, photographers, anyone who works directly with couples planning a wedding. And of course, don't forget to spotlight your decorated items online, whether you have your own website or an Etsy shop, or you're using Sawgrass's Go Exchange platform to sell items. Make it easy to do business with you and follow up with your customers. If you make a sale, ask for referrals and let people know what else you do in other markets you offer and serve.
Yeah, it's particularly challenging right now, with COVID and everything that we've all tried to make a circle around. But online is super important. So just wanted to also point out just some things that are important takeaways from today. So what can we take away from the wedding market? Well, people are still getting married. It's going to happen. It's just going to happen in different ways. And plenty of weddings are going to be rescheduled, we believe, for 2021. And we feel like that's going to be a very busy year for events.
Yeah, the sublimated products that we presented today are easy to sanitize and clean, which is important in this year. And they make great additions to other personalized products you might already be offering. And all our products are made right here in the US, in Louisville, Kentucky. You can easily purchase them through our distributor network found on unisub.com.
And also just make sure that when you provide samples or you're doing photographs for your products, try to get the best light you can for that. It's super important for online because sometimes it's really hard to see. And there are plenty of photography tips on our Moms and Dads Day Market webinar that's also on that market page. So if you want to go through that, there's actually a really good section on product photography. And that way you can get some tips on how to do it from home. Because, I mean, literally that's what we do sometimes as well. So if you're not selling online, you definitely want to look into that and make it a priority, particularly with all that's going on due to the pandemic. But there are plenty of website creation apps out there that, you can use. So Etsy is just one of many, but Go Exchange is also a new one from Sawgrass. Why not do both of them, right? So you could do not just one, but another one as well. And just remember that, it's challenging times, but people are still going to do this. They're still going to get married. And when those floodgates open up for people to do that, and we're all safer than we are now, there's going to be a lot of opportunity for that as well. So you want to be ready for that.
Thank you all so much for joining us today. And we hope we are able to gain some insight into the current wedding market. We'll be posting this webinar on the markets page at unisub.com, which will be available very soon after this webinar. Now we're going to take questions, so please enter your questions in the toolbar question. Let's take a few minutes to review.
All right. And thanks again, guys. We're sorry about the audio issues. Sometimes these things happen. And Amy was just so gracious to help with that. I was so glad that she was able to step in, and definitely wanted her on there because she's had to reschedule her wedding and has gone through a lot to do that. So thanks, Amy. And obviously, thanks, Rose, for helping us as well. Love having a sublimation expert on the phone because I'm sure we've all had our own sublimation questions. So somebody asked if these are going to be able to be downloaded. There's different things that we have. The presentation itself, yes, will be available. And I can also send a copy of the recording, but just also a PDF copy of this PowerPoint. So if you need it, yeah, we've got it for you. If you have also other questions that come up, because they always do, right? Right when you're in the middle of something, you have a question, and then you think, I should have asked it. Please know that we have that info at unisub.com email address. And that is a really, really good resource for you if you have help. But also sublimate.com is another one. It's free to register, and it gives you times and temps for everything that we offer. We do have the new products uploaded online as well, some of the magnets and ornaments that we just released. And again, let's see, what other questions do I have? I hope everybody got through the feedback when, sorry about that again. I blame myself, but we all have that issue at some point, right? Who hasn't had that? But I don't see any other questions, but if you guys have any, feel free to reach out to us. And we're just thrilled to be able to keep doing this and keep offering you webinars. One thing you can do to help us is if you guys have an idea of a webinar you want us to offer, we'd love to know about that. We live for helping people. And I know that, we make all of the hard surface products that are like the wood, the aluminum, the hardboard, all of that. But we do have a lot of things that, people ask us that we could definitely do a webinar on. So we love getting content from you guys and would appreciate that. So if you want to send that to us at info@unisub.com, that would be perfect. And thank you guys for joining us today. Hope you had a great webinar experience. If there are any more questions, you can go ahead and ask. But if not, I will sign off and I will talk to you guys soon, hopefully on in another presentation. So, all right. Thank you. You all have a great day.
Thank you all again.
Yay. Thanks.